Hey peeps, what's up? Actually, this is probably not gonna do as well now that I think about it, since it's not a hmm, since it's not a 1080p live stream. Not 1080p. Well, since it's not 4K and it's not vertical. What's up? Welcome. We'll see how this one does. I'm actually kind of curious on how this one's gonna go. This is actually gonna be a live stream where I'm live streaming me recording a video. So I'm actually gonna get around making a video instead of sitting around talking about it all the time. So now let's get that stuff started. What's up? Welcome. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Welcome everybody. I don't think this is gonna be as big of a stream. I'm actually gonna be doing a live recording for one of my videos, so you guys get to watch like my whole video creation process. And I'm using yeah, it's recording good. I'm using the upgraded system here for the video, so we're gonna see how this goes. Let me know if you guys can hear me good in the audio. Like, how's the audio levels? Let me know down in the chat. Like, audio levels good? We good on the audio levels, guys? Doing good, doing great. Hi, Carla. Hey, hey, Ego. Welcome back, man. I got my stuff died in the middle of the last session I did. So now we're actually going to do a brand new. We're actually going to do a stream. I'm actually setting up my whole setup now to get the video ready. You guys are actually going to be here for a live video recording. So actually, because you guys are here, you guys get to weigh in. What would you like to learn about? And I will actually live shoot a video for you guys that'll be included on the channel. So since you guys are the lovely viewers who are here for this video, you guys get to decide what I make a video on. I got the Neville Goddard book here, the Neville Goddard collection. So if you guys have any like questions related to Neville Goddard and stuff like that, yeah, I'm gonna make a whole video with you guys here. So ask any questions that you have regarding Neville Goddard manifesting, and then I'm recording a whole video, not just a live stream, but an actual video on the channel. I'll give you a shout out. I went to cancel something out and it brought me in here. Well, I'm glad I brought you in here, man. Welcome everybody. This won't be as wild as the other streams, and I know it's not going to be as wild as the other streams because it's not vertical. YouTube really does like the vertical live streams because then I get served up inside of the shorts feed, but I don't know if it gets served up in the shorts feed if it's just regular video. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to fix all that stuff. But yeah, ask any questions that you have regarding Neville Goddard here in the chat, and I will actually answer it as a video. So you lovely people get to be here as part of that. I'm working on a video for Thanksgiving as well. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to quickly just bang out and record this one that I made in the private group. That was a redoing of my my Unstuck video. Hypnotist, originally designed. When did I talk about Neville Goddard here? You want to feel infatuated when you look at your partner. You want to feel like hot animal magnetism. Yeah, this is a good one. I'm gonna record this one. This would be a pretty quick banger just to get like the juices flowing. Let me know if you guys can hear me down in the chat because I feel like I'm talking to myself for this one. I want to interact with you guys. Interacting is with the whole reason why I do these lives in the first place, man. Because I want to talk to you guys. I want to like connect. Your faith is your fortune. One of Neville Goddard's first books. Maybe different SP responses to your manifestation attempts. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one, Ego. You guys got any other questions? Put them down in the chat. I want to gather as many questions as I can so I could put them together. Because I could think of and read a couple of different Neville Goddard like chapters and bits that I think would be like useful for that. Candyman, I'll read you guys a little bit. At Your Command. This is one of Neville Goddard's first books. Matter of fact, I think that'll be one of the videos. That'll be an easy thing to just bang out real quick, just to have something in there. Get my my warm up 1844. Shoot. Dude. Okay. So different SP attempts. What about you, Carla? What about you, Pedro? How you guys? What else would you guys like to learn while I get onto this? Oh, that's what I was gonna do. I'll need to double check to make sure that I have enough space for videos. I should have a good enough space. Let's check our iPhone storage. Yeah, I got a decent amount of iPhone storage. I can do my video recordings. Ready. So we set it up for video. Things should be good there. Okay. All right. So we're set up. So we'll make this the first one. All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to go through and read you guys some Neville Goddard. So it'll be a little reading time to get everything started. So this is At Your Command by Neville Goddard. It's one of his shortest books and good start to everything. He made it intentionally short so that he can teach the principles and not overcomplicate it, because you can really overcomplicate manifestation. So, at your command. Can man decree a thing and have it come to pass? Most decidedly he can. Man has always decreed that which has appeared in his world, and is today decreeing that which is appearing in his world, and shall continue to do so as long as man is conscious of being man. Not one thing has ever appeared in man's world but what man decreed that it should. This you may deny, but try as you will. This you may deny, but try as you will, you cannot disprove it. For decreeing this is based upon changeless principle. You do not command things to appear by your word or loud affirmations, which is very important for the people who are very concerned with. It's very important for the people who are concerned with robotic affirmations, because this is a very important portion to add into here. Such vain repetition is more often than not confirmation of the opposite. Decreeing is ever done in consciousness. That is, every man is conscious of being that which he has decreed himself to be. The dumb man, without using words, is conscious of being dumb, as is everybody else. Therefore, he is decreeing himself to be dumb. When the Bible is read in this light, you will find it to be the most this is one of the things that always got me with like recording and making videos. Stuff doesn't always come out perfect, but you always have multiple takes, which is great. When the Bible is read in this light, you will find it to be the greatest scientific book ever written. Instead of looking upon the Bible as the historical record of an ancient civilization or the biography of the unusual life of Jesus, see it as a great psychological drama taking place in the consciousness of man, which is very important for people to understand, because I wonder if I should do a commentary version or a regular version and a commentary version. Because I know that some people just might want to have like the full book just like read top to bottom. Other people might actually just want the commentary of me talking about it. So I guess I'll do both. Yeah, it seems like it. That seems like it'll be about right. When the Bible is read in this light, you will find it to be the greatest scientific book ever written. Instead of looking upon the Bible as the historical record of an ancient civilization or the biography of the unusual life of Jesus, see it as a great psychological drama taking place in the consciousness of man. Claim it as your own, and you will suddenly transform your world from the barren desert of Egypt to the promised land of Canaan. This is like story time. Love it. Love it. Everyone will agree with the statement that all things were made by God, and without him, there is nothing made that is made. But what man does not agree upon, blah, blah. But what man does not agree upon is the identity of God. All the churches and priesthoods of the world disagree as to the identity and true nature of God. The Bible proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that Moses and the prophets were in 100% accord as to the identity and nature of God. And Jesus' life and his teachings are in agreement with the findings of the prophets of old. Moses discovered God to be man's awareness of being. When he declared these little understood words, I am hath sent me unto you. David sang in his Psalms, be still and know that I am God. Isaiah declared, I am the Lord, and there is no one else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. The awareness of being as God is stated hundreds of times in the New Testament. To name but a few, I am the shepherd, I am the door, I am the resurrection and the life, I am the way, I am the Alpha and Omega, I am the beginning and the end. And again, who do you say I am? Actually, I'm going to pause for a second and answer your question. There you go. So, in light of what I was just reading, this leads back into it, where we're talking about letting go and simultaneously still meditating on it every day. Just like people do not have a concise understanding or in a like agreement according to the nature or the identity of God. The same, yeah, I'm back. I'm back, Raven. The same happens when we talk about the letting go, letting it go. What is the it that we're referring to? That's what people don't seem to understand. Like, what is the it that we are referring to that people are letting go? Actually, thank you. You just gave me the topic for the video. So actually, we're going to start another video here. So I heard you was having trouble trying to let go. Cool. Let's talk about it. And that's a crappy start. Let's try that one more time. What's a good hook? This is what happens when I try to record videos. This is like all the stuff that you guys don't see. Depending on like my emotion, especially when I'm starting off a video, it's kind of like until I get into like the feeling about it. Yes, there is a Neville Goddard party. What's up, Marcius? Welcome, man. Okay. All right, let's try this again. I'm trying to figure out my hook. You guys can help me out with this. This is going to be about letting go. So I got to figure out like a good hook. What do you guys want to let go? What do you guys care about letting go? Let me know in the chat. That should help me with creating my my hook. We're going to do this on the fly. I got to build this out. And so, but first I was starting off with reading some Neville Goddard, and now Mr. Ego Montoya decided to come up with a really good question about letting go while simultaneously meditating. So I understand the concept that I want to explain. I got to figure out how to package it properly. So what are some problems that you guys have with letting go? What are the issues that you're dealing with around letting go? And then I'll integrate that into the video. So ask your questions below or in your comments. What is your question about? What are you trying to let go? Or the law of detachment, because this is what it pretty much is. And if I want to be like super honest about it, Okay, good. I'm still recording. If I want to be super honest about it, what we're actually doing when we're talking about it, when we're talking about letting go, is when you desire something so much, but you know you have to let it go, even though it's the thing you think about every day. Okay, I'll actually use you as an example, dude. I won't say your name though. I'll be like a client, a client of mine, a wonderful friend, a good friend and client of mine. Okay, okay. That actually will lead in really nicely because then I could tell the story. So that means I got a story. I got his story. Do I do Teddy's story? Would Teddy's story be good here? I could probably throw in a Neville Goddard story. What's a Neville Goddard story about letting go? Neville Goddard has to have stories about letting go. So this is what's happening in my head as a content creator. I know when I'm creating the video, the smartest thing for me to do with the video is to use keywords that work really well. So I already know the keyword clusters that make a lot of sense. Law of assumption, law of attraction, self-development, which is actually probably one of the best terms to throw in there. Self-development, a little bit related to relationships, but Neville Goddard, Joe Dispenza, and Abraham Hicks are like top tier search terms. So the more I include their kind of stuff in there, the better. So I think I could be able to add in Joe Dispenza because his concepts make a lot of sense here related to letting go. Bashar is another one, but Bashar, the concept from Bashar is really good on letting go, but he's not as big of a search term. So when it comes to law of attraction, I could throw in law of attraction and talk about law of assumption, Neville Goddard. I'm trying to remember a Neville Goddard story related to letting go. I'm getting the story where I'm thinking about the lady. Intrusive thoughts about what you want make us think about it and ruminate on the thoughts. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I got it. I got it. There was a story I read. Okay. So this is actually like the whole formulation process that goes on inside of my head while or on paper while I'm trying to figure out a story. So I was reading The Law and the Promise, which is Neville Goddard's last book in the collection. And one of the stories in the book is of a woman who had a physical problem, a physical ailment. She had some sort of disease that made it so like her blood was like uh hard. She had hard blood. That sounds so weird. But yeah, she had hard blood. I'll see if I can find no, not see if I can find it. I'll find the story right here. Here we go. Um she had a serious blood clot condition. Okay. So this is a story in The Law and the Promise. He's bringing it to mind because to move from perceptual awareness or things that seem to conceptual awareness or things as they ought to be, we imagine as vivid and lifelike a representation as possible of what we would see, hear, and do were we physically present and physically experiencing things as they ought to be and imaginatively participate in the scene. So for this woman, she had to let go of her physical experience because one of the things that I know that people struggle with when it comes to like letting go of the 3D or something in their consciousness, usually they're referring to usually what people are referring to is like there's either one thing, there's the absence of what I want in my experience and I'm being given or experiencing the absence of my experience, experiencing the absence of my experience. I am I'm pers- I see that the thing ain't here. She ain't here. She ain't sitting in the seat. Making it dumb simple. She ain't sitting in the seat. He isn't sitting in the seat. The money isn't in the bank account. Whatever that happens to be, that's what's staring the person in the face. And uh when we're when we're talking about letting it go, the concept of what I was thinking about ego, which was the problem, is like we don't define what the it is. So people say let it go, but it's like, Elsa, let it go, let it go. What are you talking about letting go? Like, what you letting go, like Spider-Man letting go of Gwen and then letting her neck snap? We talking about letting go like Rose letting Jack go off the side of the Titanic. Well, the door of the Titanic. Um you talking about Elsa letting go of her fears and uncertainty about herself? What are we talking about letting go? So when we talk about the act of letting go, there are two things that you could be letting go of. Letting go of what you're experiencing in the physical experience around you, or letting go of something in your conceptual or your imagination. You're letting a concept go in your imagination. And when people talk about the law of attachment, usually we're referring to letting go. Indiana Jones letting go of the Holy Grail. That's a good one. When we talk about letting go, we're removing an image from our consciousness. That's usually what we're referring to when we say let go. The law of detachment is the act of letting go of something from our imagination, or the space that we call our imagination. Like you're holding something in the space and then you just hold it. Or emotion. Those are the two things. It's either going to be the image in the physical space, which could be a memory, or it's a feeling, like a negative feeling that we're in the act of, letting go and releasing from the body. The only other thing I could think of that would fall under the category of letting go would be letting go of your insistence of paying attention to something around you that's missing, because in actuality, that's you're not letting go of what you're paying attention to, you're letting go of the thought loop. It's an auditory loop. So you're either letting go of the image of something in your consciousness, you're letting go of a feeling, which is a physical kinesthetic experience in the body, or you're letting go of a sound, like the actual sound of your response, like the thoughts that you would have when you look at Instagram or you look at your phone and you don't see this person texting you. You're letting that stuff go. You're letting go of one of those three things, because that's realistically the only stuff that you're going to be holding in your consciousness. Now, when we talk about the law of detachment and what's actually going on, is you need to let that stuff go, as in let go of the image and just be fully in the experience. Just be here. That's why we do stuff like meditate and breathe. We do the stuff like meditating and breathing because, oh, let me put this on standby. We do stuff like the meditating and breathing because we're letting go of the old images from our mind, the negative ones, so we don't create those feelings anymore. We do the Ho'oponopono and the forgiveness exercises so we let go of the negative emotions and we no longer hold them inside of our bodies. We let go of the old audio tracks that we play in our head again and again, the things that we say to ourselves that we don't enjoy. We let that go. Why? Because all three of those things are the things that are keeping us in the physical experience that we do not enjoy. If you drop those things, the physical experience cannot, and I mean it cannot, continue to exist out in the space outside of you. So when we talk about letting go, the act of letting that stuff go and moving into the silence gives you a blank canvas to start building the desired experience that you want, which could be living in your ideal home, or being in your ideal relationship, or doing the ideal work that you truly feel called to do. Bashar's process that he talks about in his videos is really interesting. I really like what he talks about when he talks about uh detachment, because his process fits very closely in line with Neville Goddard. So Neville Goddard teaches people to use the imagination to create the feeling, to put yourself fully in the experience by going into the state akin to sleep, which in a scientific sense is known as um, the theta brainwave state. You're putting yourself into the theta brainwave state, which is where you're slowing down the rate of vibration in the brain and in the nervous system. Um, and you get that feeling of relaxation, rest. You may go into sleep paralysis. And in that state, you're able to impress upon your nervous system and the space around you an idea or a concept. And in the act of going into that space and feeling and bringing up that energy, feeling like you're actually in that experience, what Neville Goddard, not Neville Goddard, actually, no, Neville Goddard and Bashar both talk about it. Neville Goddard says, go to sleep in the feeling. So you go to sleep in the feeling. Naturally, what you're going to do is you're going to let go of the image. Because if you fall asleep, you hold the feeling, drop the image. So Neville Goddard is teaching people without telling them to do it, to let go of the image and to allow the thing to happen. So Neville Goddard didn't tell people to let go, but he taught people the process where when you do it, you're going to naturally let go. Kind of like if you're driving a car. I don't need to tell you to take your foot off the brake to drive. Naturally, if I tell you to speed up to 60 miles per hour, you're more than likely not going to have your foot on the brakes. So you're going to press the gas. So naturally, because I told you to speed up, you're going to do it. Neville Goddard was doing the same thing. He told you to go to sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, which allows you to let go of the image and to hold the feeling. Because when you wake up, you're not waking up thinking of the same image that you went to sleep with, but you are feeling in your body, in your nervous system, you're feeling the same thing that you experienced when you went to sleep, when you went into that state. So because of that, you successfully let it go. Now, what Bashar explained, which I found very interesting, and if you don't know Bashar, Bashar is an entity that's channeled by Daryl Ank. He's a bald guy that sits and is like, "How are you all today on this day?" And he speaks quite funny for a lot of people. So with him, I love his explanation where he explained the process and mechanism of manifestation. What was actually happening is we take the image in our imagination, in our conscious, we use the imaging facility to impress in consciousness in our space around us the idea or the concept. We take a concept from being abstract into being not objective. We take it from an objective reality, like an object, and we make it subjective. We put it into the physical space so that we can interact with it. So we take that concept of being in an ideal relationship or a concept of our ideal person, and then we bring it from the objective of that, the objective reality, and make it subjective, where it's in relation to us. So it's not just, oh, just regular concept of this person. Now it's, oh, this person is actually in the space with me. Let me give him a little kiss. Let me give him a little smooch. I love you so much. You look so beautiful. Oh, you're wonderful. Oh, your lips feel like heaven. Uh you gotta meditate. You gotta meditate, Steve. You can't be not meditating. It's a super important part of the process. Well, you can explain why you're not meditating, Steve. Let me know. And I want to say thank you for everybody. You guys have been coming on to like all my streams. Carla, thank you. Raven, thank you. Marcius, Daniel. I don't know if you're in the stream right now, man, but I always appreciate you. Pedro, thank you. Who else shows up on the stream? Erica, thanks to Erica, because I know Erica shows up. I know it's a late stream, so I know people are gonna be. Oh man, it's probably so freaking late in the UK and everything. Ha ha! I knew you were here. What's up, Daniel? Yeah. How are you all to this day? How are you all today on this wonderful day? Welcome today for this transmission. How are you all? I love Daryl and Bashar. They're great. A lot of people channel. They're great. They're awesome. They're very funny and interesting. I love Daryl's. I always found Daryl real interesting with Bashar. They're very funny. Oh, okay. So back to what Bashar explained with manifestation. We're using the image, the holographic experience of creating the image. So we bring the concept, the idea, and we give an idea or a sound concept. Because if you think this person's name, you're just going to hear this person's name. You may see like a vague image or a face of them, but you take them and you give the image and face form in the physical space around you. That's what happens when you move a thing from objective reality into the subjective reality, because now it's in relation to relation to you. Like from your eye level, what is this person? What is this experience like? Oh yeah, I'm glad you're seeing the shout outs now. Yeah. Uh okay, I'll answer your question. I'll comment on your thing in a moment, Steven. Because I definitely do want to talk about it. Subjective reality, objective. You take an objective concept, a thought, an idea, and you give it form in the space, and you interact with it. You touch the person, you interact with them. If it's a job, then you take the concept of a job, because it's like a weird, just abstract concept, and you give it a subjective form, like an actual form, which is you at the job doing the work, sitting in front of the laptop in a meeting where you enjoy the conversation that you're having with your coworkers. The people are giving you feedback, and you're like, oh yeah, this is wonderful, this is amazing, I love it, I love it so much, thank you guys so much, I enjoy having fun, we're having a good old great time, we're enjoying ourselves, whatever you guys do at work. Maybe you're driving to work, you're imagining yourself driving to work, and you're feeling pumped up because the projects that you're working on are great. Whatever it happens to be, you're taking the concept and you're making it real, because anything that you have to experience has to be experienced through the body. So you're taking the concept and putting it in the physical space, so it's imposing on the physical body, the mortal coil, what the guys in NLP, Richard Bandler and John Grinder, would refer to as the sensory apparatus. The sensory apparatus is now picking up on the vibes, guys, of what that concept is. You're touching it, you're interacting with it, the job, the money, the person, your ideal body and health, whatever that happens to be. In the act of bringing that concept and giving it form, you feel something in the body. The whole point of having the imaginal experience is that it's a permission slip to create a feeling inside of here, inside of all this, on your face, inside of here, inside of the chest, inside of your solar plexus, in the tummy, the lower parts. I'm not going to show you guys that. You get what I'm saying. You want to feel something in the center mass. You're trying to get an experience to happen in there. And the reason why we have to use this stuff, like affirmations, the reason why we have to use visualizations, is because emotions and feelings are unconscious. They're not directly connected to the conscious mind. They're influenced by the conscious mind, but they're not directly connected. They're not, I don't want to say directly connected. They're not directly controlled. That's a better way of putting it. They're not directly controlled by the conscious mind. And I can demonstrate this to you very easily. Take a moment, close your eyes, and I want you to see an orange in your hand. See an orange. See an orange. Move it around in your fingers. It's an orange. All I got to tell you is see an orange. Maybe smell it. Can you smell the orange? Okay. If you took a moment and close your eyes, you use your conscious mind to create the image. The conscious mind can be used to create images, to create light in the imagination. What it has difficulty doing is creating a direct feeling. So you saw how easy it was to create the image of the orange. It may have been a little bit light. It may have been just like there in the space, but through the act of saying it, you could create it very easily. Not a lot of effort, not a lot of problem there, but you got it. Okay. On the same note, if I told you to feel joy, feel joy, feel bliss, Do it. Feel bliss right now. Just do it. Feel it. Close your eyes. Feel bliss. Bliss. Bliss, 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 bliss. Feel laughter. Feel anger. Feel sadness. It doesn't translate as well with emotion as it does with light, with concepts, with ideas, with forms. The mind, the conscious mind, has no issue with taking a sound, taking a command, and immediately creating a form. You can immediately imagine an apple. You can immediately imagine an orange. You can immediately imagine a pink elephant. I always use those same examples. But if we do emotions, that's a completely different experience because I can say it, you understand it, you know it, but the act of using words to go directly to the feeling, there seems to be a little bit of a barrier because it's not a one-to-one direct connection. It's unconscious. It's something that you have to communicate. You have to communicate to the rest of your body in a language which it understands. So with emotions, the way that you communicate and you create emotions is that you use the concepts, the ideas, the sounds in your mind, and instead of saying just go to the feeling, you say, you know what, let me construct images, forms that I know if I focus on the form and I'm there, I can create the feeling. I can experience the feeling. I can recreate a memory that makes me feel that way. So what happens is we use the process, the holographic, the imagination as an interface. The images are like the keyboard between our fingers and the ideas and the things that we see inside of our head. And the images in our imagination is the keyboard of us inputting into our physical body, into the subconscious mind, which is the body, the autonomic nervous system, the part of the nervous system that does things automatically, that doesn't feel directly connected with the mind. We communicate with those images so that we create feelings inside of the body. So what we're doing is we're looping the same images because what we're trying to do and what we're trying to create is a feeling. I can tell you about this 1,000 different ways, 1,000 different times. That's what every freaking person like Neville Goddard is trying to do, is trying to teach people, hey, this is the interface that you use to create emotions in your body. If you give yourself the emotion without waiting for the outside world, the outside images, the outside forms to create that emotion, you create it in your own consciousness, in your own imagination. You can change how you feel. And if you change how you feel and it feels good, if you feel good now, anything that comes after that point is going to be a good feeling. Anything that comes to you in your experience, any form, any conversation that you have with another human being, any of that stuff is going to be good. It's going to feel good. And that's part of what Bashar and everybody else is talking about. Bashar mentioned that the whole point of having the images is not to hold on to the images inside of the imagination, it's to use them as intended, which is this image in my consciousness is a permission slip for me to feel this feeling. Once I feel this feeling and I've downloaded this feeling into the body and I understand, I know how it feels, I don't need the image anymore. Let go of the image. Hold the feeling, let go of the image. It's very similar to adding, like when you download an app onto your Mac or your PC. You download it, and when you download it, you have the exe file or the download file. When you download it and then you run the install wizard, or you run the DMG, the download file, it downloads the whole application onto your computer. You move it into the right folder, and once it's downloaded, you don't need the downloader anymore. You can delete the exe file. You can delete the downloader. You don't need that anymore because you have the application. The whole point of the downloader wasn't to keep the downloader and just to focus on the downloader and to run the downloader again and again. The downloader was just to Build the application so you can run it inside of your system. You take it, the downloader brings it down. It allows you to configure the application the way it's supposed to so it runs properly on your machine. You download it, run it on the machine. You can get rid of the downloader. That's what we mean by the law of detachment. That's what we mean by let it go. When we mean let it go, we say, hey, that image that you used to get this feeling, get rid of it. You don't need that anymore. Hold on to the feeling, run the application, which is I feel joyful, I feel happy, I feel fulfilled in my relationship. I am complete. I am happy. I am good. That's what matters. When you do that, everything that shows up in your experience is going to run off of that application. Yes, living in the end and living in the feeling. That's what it is. When we talk about living in the end, what we're saying is, hey, forget all the images and all the other stuff. It's great, it's wonderful. The things that come into your experience can look exactly like that image that you have in your mind. But guess what? If you let the image go and just open yourself up to receive and feel the feeling, and I mean this, everything that comes to you will feel like that emotion, will feel like that experience. It's a weird thing to talk about because, like, I've practiced this for money and I've practiced it for relationships. And this is going to sound a little bit weird, but they feel the same. Like, making money in a good way feels like a good relationship. It feels like flirting and playing and like sit and holding each other and just like that. It's a warm, loving feeling. Being joyful is the very same feeling as being wealthy and having money in the bank. It's a one to one. But to explain that to people doesn't make sense because it's like the words cannot explain the feeling. Images fall short of the feeling. It's literally like showing you a menu and saying, "This is the most delicious meal that I've ever had in my entire life." You see these two items that seem different on the menu, they actually taste the same. The pictures, they look different. The words that describe them and the price seems different, but they taste exactly the same. So it doesn't matter which one you get. And that's what I feel like as the waiter and the server in the restaurant who's trying to explain it to people when I'm talking to you guys about this. It feels the same. Manifesting a loving, wonderful relationship feels the same as manifesting lots of money in the bank. It really does. I'm telling you, as somebody who's manifested both, they feel the same. It is the same feeling of joy and energy radiating up through the body and coming up to the head and in that space and just feeling that love, that bliss. The closest thing that I could describe it to is probably like an O, if you know what I mean. It's kind of like an O. That's kind of like the best approximation of the feeling. And if you just build that feeling up in the body and you just continue feeling like that, money comes to you, clients come to you. Freaking yes, you're 100% correct. I didn't want to say that on the stream because I didn't know if I think the stream is monetized, so I don't want to lose monetization on the stream. But that's what it feels like. To be 100% honest, I am not kidding. Good meditation, and you know what's crazy? Good meditations feel like that too. When I tell people to meditate, the whole reason why I tell you to meditate is because that is exactly what meditation feels like. When you do it right and you do it properly, it feels like that in the body. That's what it feels like. And it's like, why are you sitting still? Because it feels amazing. It feels amazing. Yes, it does. It does. It feels like the dragas. There's a really funny comedian. I remember. He got he got his little Latin American maid. She ate some of the edibles that they had at their apartment, and this little what was she? Salvadorian or Ecuadorian, this small little lady, and she was freaking out. She was like, uh, and yesterday I was at the chess. Today I am on the delicacies. Oh, poor lady. Oh man, I gotta find that special again. That was really good. I love stand-up comedy. That's another thing about me. And I've also done stand-up comedy before. Love stand-up comedy. It's one of my favorite art forms, to be 100% honest. There's lecture and books. There's stand-up comedy. I love verbal arts because they're such a beautiful thing. Poetry, like stand-up poetry, like powerful stand-up poetry, like Rumi. Love that stuff. Religious music as well. Religious music is another powerful thing, which I think I was supposed to mention in the last live stream I did, but I didn't. That was one of the things that people can use to create the emotion and the feeling of what they want. Um, and I mean, like, this is like extremely powerful. So this is like super hack tips for you guys. Um, the reason for people becoming less religious is to stop people from like getting into these states of ecstasy. What they didn't teach people was that religious art is powerful enough and strong enough to create the highest states of ecstasy and awe. I know this because I've experienced it, and it's so funny to think about because when you're when you're not when you're not religious, you don't consider those things to be cool. It's like, oh, it's funny that these people are doing these weird things like going speaking in tongues or like moving around and convulsing. But in actuality, like these people are gaining access. Doesn't matter what they're doing physically, they're gaining access to altered states of consciousness, of extreme states of bliss and joy that transforms their consciousness completely. And the sad thing with modern Christianity, modern Protestant Christianity, is that the biggest schism between like old religious Catholicism, Judaism, and Protestant Christianity is that Protestant Christianity lost the the art forms that were encoded into the culture of Catholicism. And like, I mean, ancient Catholicism and Orthodox Christianity, because Orthodox Christianity as an art form, let's take Jesus, let's take God, let's take all that stuff out of there. I'm not thinking about that. I'm not talking about the Bible. I'm not discussing any of that. No, take the Bible out of it. Take the hats, because that's one of the that's one of my funniest things that I think about religions. Take off the hats and take the book out of the club. Take the hats off because all the religions are basically just like book clubs that argue about who has the best hats and who has the best characters. We take that stuff off and just look at the culture that's built around those religions, from Protestant and Catholicism, or like Orthodox Christianity. Orthodox Christianity has ceremonial clothing, ceremony, like this huge ceremony, which is in actuality ceremonial magic. The mass is a form of ceremonial magic where all of these people in this community come together to take part in a ceremonial ritual where you have this space in this place. And that's the other thing that's lost in Protestantism is Catholicism has cathedrals. Hey Kiva, what's up? One thank you. I'm glad that I'm one of your faves. So you caught me while I was live. I'm supposed to be recording a video and you guys got me like super passionate about this, and I'm like, I need to get this into a video. I need to be able to structure this properly. Catholicism has the buildings which are works of art. For some reason, people completely forget that buildings are works of art. The buildings themselves are built to be this wonderful, lovely thing that you are in awe of. People travel to see the cathedrals in Notre Dame and all of these other places around Europe, these beautiful monuments with their spires and arches, these beautiful works of stained glass which allow light to spill in on these beautiful images of all of these scenes that have been written in these books, spilling into the actual space itself. You are physically dwarfed by the size of these giants that are on either side of you in these beautifully constructed buildings that literally took centuries. People had lived and died before these creations were finished, and you get to witness being an ant in this space, in this place, in this cave of wonder. And you are dwarfed in these arches, just looking up at these magnificent works of art that were painted by the hands of the best masters on the planet. All of these scenes of heavens and angels and saints sprung out on the ceilings above you, basically in the heavens, because literally they're so high up above you. It's like looking and peering into the heavens and having the clouds part to see the past right there in front of you. And the only thing that you can think about in that space is the sense of awe. How on earth did humans decide to work together long enough to create something this beautiful and magnificent? Okay, I'm gonna get into it a little bit more in a minute. I need to answer Steve's question because Steve asked about it. Let me ask you, what's your question again, Steve? I'm gonna see if I can scroll up to see if see your question. Yes, Orange. I manifested more apples because of your vision. Oh, you did. That's so funny. Manifested more apples because of the experience. We did on the last live. How it's been manifesting is my mom keeps buying apples. You've been manifesting apples. I'm not surprised with that. What's your question, Steve? Ask your question down below and I'll answer it, man. I'm more than happy to answer your questions, man. I detached from my SP so much. I don't care about her like that anymore. The meditation relaxed. I do still think of my SP. I don't know why she's still on my mind. I believe we'll meet again. You will. If she's coming up in your consciousness and you're seeing her, like seeing her in your space in your consciousness, she'll be there. It'll happen. Yeah, the concept of relativity. I like to keep scenes short and loop them. Neville said you don't need to burst a balloon. That was a good one, Benjamin. Oh, that's a good one. The apple orchard. We're back on the apples. Okay, keep going up. Let me see if I can find your question. You're smart, Ryan. Sorry, yes, I stopped meditating and meditated on making new friends and a family. Oh, that's really good. I'm happy today. Thanks for asking, Ryan. I'm glad that you're happy today. That's really important. I'm glad you're happy today, Steve. I just don't want to manifest my SP anymore because I detached from my SP so much. Okay, that's what you said. I've been doing AFT tapping in my life and visual. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised when people let go of stuff. They find that like meditating works a lot easier. Thank you for the shout outs. Lead. I'm glad you didn't miss live either. Living in the end. Wow. Yeah, it does feel like taking drugs. You did have one message, but I think you deleted that one. That might have been the question, unless it was further up. Cause yeah, I don't see any other thing that's a question, Steve. Ask it again, man. Cause I'm not sure where it is. Um, how did develop belief that a technique works? Someone told me it's me and not the technique, and ever since I don't know what to do. Oh man, yeah. Americans are those who complain all day, all day about their low gas prices. I love oversimplified descriptions. They're great. They give me life. They're great. Well, then ask the question again. I'm more than happy to answer your question, dude. Ask the question again, and don't be afraid to leave a question with like misspellings. These lives have me like stumbling all over the place, like all the time. So it's having a typo is not a problem. I'm not gonna send the Nazis after you for any typos. So you're good. My first date with my SP was an apple orchard. That's funny, Benjamin. That's freaking funny. Second night with the letter under my pillow. Dreamed was fishing with my SP. Ooh, she was close to me and also pregnant. Ooh, by me. And that was a sure feeling with it out it being said was wonderful. Interesting thing that happened with me and my SP. I knew that she was pregnant. I knew we were gonna have my daughter before anybody else knew we were pregnant. Before she even knew she was pregnant, I knew because I started having dreams about it. I had one dream where I was exiting. I was walking out of a sliding door in what looked like an old apartment complex that I used to live in, and the space outside of the door opened up into a grassy path. So there was grass on either side and a stone path that sidewalk that went through the grassy area, and there was a separate apartment building. So there was another mirrored building on the other side. So I walked out of the sliding door. I walk into the grassy area and start looking down the stone sidewalk path that walked into like the grassy area off into the distance with lots of trees. And as I look down the area, I see a an archway like for a bridge. And in the archway, I notice a bear. I'm like, oh shoot, it's a bear because I lucid dream and stuff like that. But I'm watching the bears and I'm like, oh shoot, it's a bear. Oh my god, it's a bear. And then I noticed the bear move, and it was like, oh no, it's two bears. Ah, no, it's two bears. Oh my gosh. And then I noticed that as the bear moved, there was a little bear behind it. So it was three bears. I was like, oh, it's a mommy bear, a baby bear, and a daddy bear. And then I realized, oh crap, these are three bears. I need to get out of here. But that was one of the first things I was like, oh, I think we might end up having a little baby bear. And as I'm saying it, little baby bear decided to come to the sliding glass door and peek inside. We'll peek into the patio looking at daddy. Oh gosh, that baby was livid that I decided to go out today. She was like crying for 3 hours straight, inconsolable, waiting for daddy. Um, so yeah, that happened before we found out that we were pregnant. So when you make impressions on the subconscious mind or things are happening, you may end up like having impressions show up inside of your dreams, which is pretty cool. That was all I wanted to know because my question was just, is my SP going to show up in my life again because she's still in my consciousness? Yes. Anything that is inside of your consciousness, because think of it like this. If you see it, you're going to see it. Just think that. Like if you see it, you're going to see it. How you see it in your imagination will determine how it will show up in your experience. But if you see it, you'll see it. Period. That's plain fact. What's up?
She wants to say hi.
She wants to say hi. Come say hi. How you doing?
She wants to go to sleep with you, but I explained to her that you're working.
Daddy's working. You gotta go to sleep with mommy for now. Our daddy will be there later in a little bit. Okay?
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
Yes. All right, my love. I love you so much.
Yeah, Daddy.
You love me too,
Look,
daddy.
that's yeah.
Yeah, there's lights. They're very nice lights. Everybody's here. I'm doing a quick live. Kiva says hi. Steve says hi.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
She said hi, everybody's. All right, go, mommy. Okay. Go, mommy. I love your outfit. It's very cute. I love you so much.
Oh.
Okay, give me a big hug, big kiss. Big hug, big kiss. What am I doing here? I'm recording a video.
Daddy.
Yeah, it is a microphone, baby.
Hey, Daddy, how you doing here, Daddy?
I'm doing good here, baby. Okay. All right. I need you to go with mommy, okay? So you listen to mommy and do what mommy tells you, okay?
That's a nigga bingo.
Sound like a bingo.
That's come over there.
Yeah, it's coming from over there. It sounds like water.
Come over there. It's down.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, I gotta let you go, okay? I love you so much. Give me a big hug, big kiss. Big hug, big kiss. All right, I'll see you later. I love you, ladies. Here you go. See you later. I love you. I love you so much. That kid's adorable. I'm glad I explained like the exe file. That's probably one of the best comparisons. And that's one thing that Neville Goddard didn't have that I do. I have technology available, people understand technology, and I I did IT and I did programming, so I have a really like wide breadth of like experiences in like my career over the years. So I can draw on a lot of things for experiences and like explanations. Okay. What I was saying. Matter of fact, I was talking about my perfect example. I was talking about my daughter, thinking about my daughter, and guess who decided to show up? My daughter. she she decided to come and hang out for a little bit. Yeah, Neville never coded in C sharp. Oh man, Neville was just dancing. Neville would have been on TikTok. He would have been doing like little TikTok dances and all that stuff because he was a vaudeville dancer. So Neville wouldn't have been able to use the examples for coding, but Neville sure would have been able to do like the gritty and all that stuff. So that would have been hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I always manifest the stuff I talk about. I gotta drive. I'm gonna record you guys a video of me going to the pink elephant, because the funny thing was I kept using that as an example and I've used it for years, and then I realized, wait a minute, there's a giant pink elephant on the way to drive to the farm here. So I got to show you guys the giant pink elephant. There is a giant pink elephant. So I keep using the pink elephant thing as like a thing that doesn't exist, but no, there's a freaking pink out there. There's a pink elephant. I see it all the time. So I'm going to show you guys a pink elephant. So you see the pink elephant that I that I refer to. It has glasses. It's a giant pink elephant with glasses that has like lights for eyes. It's really interesting. I'll show it to you sometime. I don't want to give you a time limit because once I do that, it's going to be a promise. And I'm telling myself to stop making as many promises like that and just do work and make videos and stuff. I think the movie Total Recall is low key about manifesting. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. I don't remember all the items in the movie Total Recall. Arnold Schwarzenegger being in the machine, eyeballs. I remember the eyeball thing. Something about moving into realities and lives and like virtual reality. I need to rewatch that movie. I'll probably make that. That might actually make a pretty good thing for videos. There are a lot of movies and a lot of songs that are low key like manifestation hacks. If you like really pay attention to the lyrics and stuff like that, they're sort of teaching you if you really pay attention. I see couples getting together and engaged on social media. That's one of the people that really okay. So again, back to what I was trying to explain. Getting back on track. Concept. If you see it in your experience, you're going to see it in your experience. The thing that we don't fully understand is that whatever exists inside of your imagination, which in actuality is just this term that we use to describe this space where you are effectively God. You are God inside of your imagination. Anything that you want to have happen in your imagination happens. There's no time. You don't have to wait for a fruit to exist. You just think the fruit and it exists. I think pineapple, therefore pineapple is uh, in the imagination. Oh yeah, the implanting of fake memories that become real. Yes, yeah, it's pretty much yeah. Anything that exists inside, and when we talk about memories, memory is the same as exist in this same space as imagination. We think that memory is something different from the imagination when in actuality it's just a concept or an image or some sort of thing in our sensory field in the space around us that exists there. How much form and how much substance is given to that thing is done according to like our attention. The more that you put attention on it, the more real it begins to feel. Anything that exists or that you see in your experience, whether it's something in your physical experience or something in your imagination, will show up again, either in your imagination or in your physical experience. It will show up in your physical experience eventually. The problem is most people are unaware of what they're thinking about and what they're impressing in their imagination. And they're also unaware of the angles that they're creating in their imagination. So stuff will show up, but they won't recognize it when it shows up, which is that's so funny that your mom bought a pineapple today, Steve. Um, let's say, for instance, that you imagine a girl and you're imagining a girl, or actually not even a girl. Let's say you're imagining freaking car. Give me a car. Write a car in the chat. Any car. Write a car. Write a car for me. Somebody already put a car in the chat? Who put a car in the chat? Oh, you did. You did. Okay. So an Audi Q7. Audi Q7. So if we create the Audi Q7, and let's say you start impressing on your consciousness, Audi Q7, 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 and you see the concept of the Audi Q7. If you see the concept and you only see the image as a vague image there in your space, congratulations. If you look at this video right here, if you look at this photo, you've now manifested it. You've manifested the Audi Q7 in your physical experience. If you only saw the image of it as something that was small in your imagination, in your space right here, that's going to be the size and the relationship between you and the concept. So the problem is people will think that they're thinking about the car that they want. They think that they're thinking about the Audi Q7. What they've actually done is they've created the image of the Audi Q7, but it's a vague image and it's very small in their space. So if it shows up on their phone, congratulations, you just manifested the Audi Q7. And now the manifestation has been excuse me. The manifestation has been the physical portion of the manifestation has now been fulfilled. It's done. Nothing else is required, nothing else is needed. You want a Tesla. If you just think of the Tesla and you think Tesla, 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 and you just see Tesla, matter of fact, you just said the word Tesla. I just repeated back to you Tesla. If there was no image of a Tesla that existed in your consciousness, you just got your manifestation. Congratulations. You got me echoing the word Tesla back to you. You thought the word Tesla, and now that word Tesla is coming out of my mouth, out of your speaker and into your ears. So now you said it, you heard it, or you typed it, and now it's coming back to you. You've now complete, the manifestation is now complete. If you created the image of a Tesla and you saw a Tesla, 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 and it's a vague image in your space, congratulations, You see a Tesla on your phone while you're scrolling through something like, let's say, Twitter or Instagram. You see a Tesla. Congratulations, you just got a manifestation of the Tesla. Because the image that you saw in your consciousness was an image that could easily be replicated in that way. Oh, let's say you put a little bit more effort into it. Let's say you put a little bit more focus and you saw a Tesla physically in the space, physically around you. You saw a Tesla driving. You're like, Tesla driving. It's a red Tesla. A red Tesla in my experience. A red Tesla 3. Red Tesla 3. Red Tesla 3. Well, guess what? If you're driving down the street and you see a red Tesla 3 pull up next to you in the lane next to you, congratulations, because you thought of the concept of the red Tesla 3 and you saw it there physically in your experience. If somebody drives up in that Tesla, congratulations, you just manifested that. And you didn't even recognize that you manifested that. You're just going to look at it and be like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was thinking about a Tesla. No, you manifested it. But you want the thing. What you want is not just the concept or the experience of having a Tesla there in your space. Because you can have a Tesla there in your space. Just like you can have the Audi Q7. You can have both of them physically in your space. What you want to experience is the I am a Tesla owner. I am an Audi Q7 owner. And to get into that mental space, to get into that self-concept or that identity, you have to imagine yourself. It is good for practice ego. It is. You have to imagine yourself in the position physically in space that you would be in if you were the Tesla owner, which means you can't just see the Tesla there. You have to see the interior with you sitting in the driver's seat. You have to feel your hands wrapped around the actual steering wheel. Why? Because there's no way for a video to give you the same impression of the steering wheel in your hands. No YouTube video can do that. Seeing a Tesla drive up next to you is not going to give you the same experience of you actually seeing in your consciousness, holding the Tesla wheel in your hands, or not in your hands, while it's doing self-driving. Touching the touch screen, putting your phone down on the wireless charger that's beneath the touch screen there, sitting back and enjoying, sitting back, looking out of the moonroof, sitting and waiting, watching your Tesla, sitting at a Tesla charging station, waiting for the Tesla to finish charging up, while you're just sitting there, maybe watching something on Netflix. All of these things are experiences which if you're seeing it from the driver's seat perspective, of you sitting in the driver's seat, the only way that this thing can come back to you is if you're given the full experience of what you want, which is to have the car, to be in the car. And you don't want it to just be in your experience for a short period of time. You want it to be in your experience for a long period of time. You want it to be a consistent part of your experience. So the way that you do that is you imagine feeling like you're an owner of the car, or you're maybe signing the documents, or you have the keys and everything, because you can have the experience of you sitting in there if it's a rental. But if you want it to be a consistent part of your experience, you have to feel and do things that are related to ownership of the car or the ownership of the thing. That's so funny that you were your SP's original SP. Yeah, you were the SP. You were manifested. Same thing for the Audi Q7. You put yourself into the end state, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, which the way that you get to the feeling of the wish fulfilled is imagining a scene. My little girl is crying. She wants daddy. I'm guessing a little person is crying for daddy.
Yeah, she woke up.
You woke up and you wanted daddy? She fell asleep and then she woke back up?
No, she's been crying the entire time.
She's been crying the whole time?
Yes.
Why you been crying so much for daddy? What is it with you? Why you been crying so much for daddy, mama? Oh, you miss your daddy? Okay, daddy will come and go to sleep. You don't need to feel bad about BSing the sales guy about your interest levels. Just go on the test drive. You could be interested. Just who cares? He wants to sell the thing. You let him know, like, hey, I'm gonna talk about it and get more people excited about Teslas on stream. The easiest thing for me was just renting a Tesla, so I could figure out if I actually enjoyed or liked it. Um, oh, now you're happy. You're happy because Daddy's here.
Look at the lights, Daddy.
Yeah, I see the lights. You see the lights? You see the lights? The Christmas lights over there?
Yes,
Yes, they're very pretty Christmas lights.
yes.
Yes. Oh, my little baby. My little baby bear. I gotta put you to bed, baby bear.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, I gotta put you to bed.
Oh, he isn't here, Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
He isn't here, Daddy.
What am I doing here? I'm recording a video.
And she's on.
Uh-huh.
Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy.
It's easy for people to imagine that stuff for like cars. It's the same thing for whatever you want. The thing has to exist in your experience. You use your imagination to create it's her life now. You use your imagination to create the thing that you desire in your imagination to make the feeling in the body. You can't just go straight to make a feeling in the body. You have to go through the interface of either sound or image, because those are the only ways that you can communicate with the emotions in the body. The feeling is the secret. The feeling is the thing that creates what we desire in the world around us. The whole point of doing meditations, the whole point of doing mantras, the whole point of doing visualizations is ultimately so that you create a new feeling, a new energy inside of the body. You're too cute. I got little boogers on me. Your little your your little daddy crying boogers.
Daddy, I isn't here, Daddy.
What am I doing here? I'm doing a live for all these people, and they're like, "You're wonderful and so cute."
I isn't here, Daddy. Not the lights, Daddy.
Mm-hmm. Trying to hang out.
He isn't here, Daddy.
You have to say manifestation.
He isn't here, Daddy.
Say manifest. Oh, that was a good one. You said manifest. You said it so well. Can you say say Neville Goddard?
Never got her.
Yeah, Neville Goddard.
N
Say live in the end.
and
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Live in the end. Um, say what else should we tell the people to do? Oh, you want to do your affirmations? You want to tell people your affirmations? Say I am safe.
I am safe.
I am happy.
I am happy.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am lovely.
I am happy.
I am loved.
I am love.
I'm so lucky.
I'm so lucky.
You gotta start them young. They absorb wonderful things. So we give her lots of love, give her lots of affirmations, so that she understands that she is lucky, she is wonderful.
I didn't have Daddy.
I'm doing a talk. I'm talking to people.
Oh.
Hmm. This is what Daddy does for work. I talk to people and I teach them stuff. This is Daddy doing work. I'm talking to my friends, my lovely people here, and helping them out, so they can get little people like you. Really? Mm-hmm. They want to have maybe some beautiful curly hair babies like you, or non curly hair babies. Babies that look like them. Yeah. They want to have their own little people in their lives, or just relationships with people that they love. I'm super lucky because I got you, because you're one of my favorite people. You know that? Say you could do this.
You can do this.
Say you got this.
You got it.
Hooray! You gotta give them hooray, hooray, hooray! Okay. Yeah, she's affirmation maxing. That's what she's doing. That's what she's giving you guys the eyes like, you guys got this. Well, toddlers are taught to manifest. They're always constantly manifesting. People just don't know that they're doing it. Yes, the little princess of manifestation. And mommy's hanging out over there. The funny thing is, mommy will remain a secret. But the funny thing is, I know most of you on here have actually seen her, whether you know her or not. A good majority of you have already seen her. Because mommy is an actress. Mommy's an actress who's done a whole bunch of really big, like, national and international spots. And she's been in a few movies that you guys have watched. So, yeah. You've all have seen her. Like, I know for a fact that, like, if you guys saw her, you'd be like, why does she look so familiar? It's because you've seen her and you didn't know that you've seen her. Yeah. What am I doing here? I'm hanging out with my lovely lady. Bad boys. Christmas shakes or Christmas tree?
Christmas tree, Daddy. Yeah, why?
Oh.
The Christmas tree right there.
Yeah, but we're making sure that she's on the right side of the 7-year year old programming window, making sure that she's programmed with lots of love and lots of hugs, lots of kisses, lots of affirmations, lots of affection, so that she's a wonderful and lovely person and she has her lovely, wonderful relationship in her family.
And kind.
I am kind. There goes another one.
I am rich.
I am rich. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
And smart.
I am smart. Yes. You are.
I am safe.
I am safe.
And kind.
I'm kind.
I am wonderful.
I am wonderful.
I am kind.
I am kind.
I am wonderful.
I am wonderful. That's a beautiful thing that happens when you start teaching kids affirmations. They'll just do them themselves. So she'll just do them. You guys repeat after her. I'm repeating after her. She's the one saying her affirmations on her own. Love them. I love you so much. Mm-hmm. What's up, Black Flash? What's up? What's up? Yes, your SP and anybody that you talk to is we're all like, that's why I really like the term mortal coil. I love that term. Mortal coil. This mortal coil. Because that's what it is. It's like a coil. It's like a bunch of like squiggles, like a bunch of like squiggly spirals all stuck together that just happen to look like a human being. Some are just a lot cuter than others. Oh, I said Bad Boys. Bad Boys 3. Entourage is another one. Bad Boys 3. Carnival Cruise. 2 Carnival Cruise commercials. You Fit. YMCA. You did YMCA too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did YMCA. You Fit, YMCA, Cricket Wireless. What else? You've done a couple of mobile phone commercials.
Yeah, I did a T-Mobile.
You did T-Mobile. You did Sprint. What was the one that was?
Cricket.
I said Cricket. I said Cricket. What was the one that was the football mode? Cricket was
No, Cricket was no. That
Cricket was ha
that
ha. I'm ready for
Sprint.
my close up.
I think that was Sprint.
Sprint. Yeah, football mode. I'm in football mode. Um. What else is there? Back. Glad you're back. Did you mention what it feels like for the SP when we manifest them? What was it like when I manifested you, baby? Mm-hmm. Uh, the interesting thing that happens.
Yes.
The interesting thing that happens in the
a
mind
big
of the
kid.
person is that, and people really don't think about like telepathy.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, is it dying?
It's
You're getting close to dying. Oh, probably gonna have to turn this off soon.
Uh,
Interesting thing that happens with
it's a kid.
telepathy is that people don't really think about it or believe in it. So when in the act of creating an actual experience, the person doesn't know where the thoughts come from. Like most of us never think about where do our thoughts come from, especially those thoughts that come from out of nowhere. And when you're being manifested, what will happen is you'll start just thinking about the person. They'll just like start popping up in your head more and more.
Yeah.
Mwah. Like I've been thinking about her, so I'm guessing that's why this little one keeps thinking, "Daddy, daddy, 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 daddy," and crying for daddy because I keep thinking of my little girl missing me. And matter of fact, actually, now that I think about it, I have talked about her missing me today. And sure enough, I talked about it, and she literally cried for 3 hours while I was gone straight. And matter of fact, I mentioned it here. If I'm not mistaken, I think I talked about like no, I talked about it right before I started the stream to somebody, and I mentioned it. So sure enough, she started missing me. So she's a little mini version of it. I talked about with several people the fact that I felt terrible when I didn't see her, and she said to come see her, and she wanted me to come see her, and I had to do everything in my power to come see my little girl, see my little lady. She started missing me. So what happens in the person's mind in their experience is that you come up in their experience, and they start thinking about you. So when you're trying to manifest somebody, what's happening is whatever emotion or thoughts that you're thinking, that's the stuff that you're transmitting. And the other person's picking up on it. That's why it's important for you to not feel
Yeah.
sad or anxious or uncertain. You got to feel like, you know what, wonderful, amazing, loved. And when you feel that way and experience that, that's all the stuff that shows up. That's all the stuff that the person thinks about regarding you. That's why forgiving and forgetting is so important. If you go through the process of forgiving and forgetting, you no longer bring up those old emotions and old thoughts. And when you forgive and forget and let that stuff go, it exists no longer in your consciousness, and you get the lovely, wonderful experience. Yes, it is instantaneous.
Oh my God.
E-I-E-I-O. The feeling and experience is instant. E-I-E-I-O. But the actual action takes some time, because just because you felt like something doesn't mean you're actually going to do it. Like you feel the urge to call someone, but you don't even call someone. That's how that works right there. But the feeling and the experience is instant.
You didn't hear Daddy. Not just the ice right there.
Yeah, I see the lights right there. You want to sing a song? You want to sing a song before you wrap up?
Yes.
What song you want to sing? Pío, 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 cuando tiene hambre, cuando tiene frío. Give me a song.
Neither.
What song have you sung today? What song did you sing today?
Tonight,
Hmm?
tonight, Daddy,
What song?
and Saturday.
Sugar Rush Ride? Is that what you're saying?
Oh my god, yes.
Jim Crosseye.
Oh, I don't
Like
need.
cosmic.
I don't need you singing Sugar
Cosmic Boy.
Cosmic Ride. Oh, we don't need to be singing K-pop to the to the fans. Sugar Rush Rush Ride. Yeah, she likes K-pop. Mommy likes to play K-pop with her, so she likes K-pop. In addition to the nursery rhymes. How does manifestation
I
remove a third party? Do they just
I
naturally choose you after a while? Uh, it,
I
e- if you don't give another person the opportunity, if they don't exist in your conscious, you like, they don't exist in your experience.
I like
No, Sophia,
I like
you
exercise.
like Sugar Rush Ride? I like Sugar Rush Ride too. Yeah, somebody just dissolves out of your experience. Think of it this way. It's kind of like this. There are people that you knew back in like elementary school. Do you think about them? Like how often do you think about them? Some of those people were in your life most days out of your experience. They were there. They were your best friends. Yet they no longer exist in your experience. Any person that you no longer associate with the concepts and the thoughts of where they existed in your life, they just disappear. We no longer go to school anymore, so we're not required to be in spaces where people are no longer there. So when we release and let them go, what will happen is it'll be like a kid graduating or leaving the school. They just don't exist in that space anymore. What you want to do in those cases is you want to send off any person with love. Mwah. What I usually teach people how to do is to do hopono and to give love to every person associated in the experience, because every person that you meet, regardless of what's going on, they're just another human being that's looking for love, and they deserve to have love. And there's no competition. We're not in the space or the plane of competition. We're in the plane of creation. There is no reason to take something away from someone else, because there is nothing to take. There's only stuff to create. And what we do in the act of creation is we create for them an ideal situation where they are sent off in love to have the ideal divine relationship that's made for them. And by giving that to them and wishing that upon them, the cool thing that happens is that we we use the golden rule because we're not trying to take anything from anyone else. There is no competition. We are giving and creating love for everyone associated with that. And by giving that to somebody else, we open ourselves up to receive it. Because whatever position you put somebody else in, you're eventually going to end up in that same position. So if you end up in a position where you like that, you want somebody to treat you in the same way, which is to say, you know what, I love you, I care about you, and I respect you in your relationship, whatever that happens to be. I know that you're going to be with the divine perfect person for you. I believe that I'm going to be with the divine perfect person with me. And if that person's the divine perfect person for me, they're mine. I forgive you for everything in the situation. I send you off with love. And if that person is your divine person, then you know what? I apologize for coming in between you two. And I send you off with love. Because and I invite my ideal loving relationship. So in either scenario, whether this person's mine or this person's yours, I know that we both deserve our divine perfect relationship, and we will both be given that. And I let everything go and I give it up to be decided. And I'm like, I know that I'm going to be happy and thankful in any scenario, because anything that happens from this point on is for our greatest and highest good, and I am thankful for it. When you do that, beautiful, because no matter what happens in the situation, everybody gets what they want. Everybody. Everybody. Say everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody gets what they want. Well, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go eat oranges. And wait, did you make tea, baby? You made tea earlier. So we're gonna drink tea and eat oranges.
To the lecture.
Yeah, let's go eat oranges. So see you later. Everybody say see you later.
Advice. Say advice.
Your backbone gets triggered a lot when you do it. Have you been to like an acupuncture person or like gotten like chiropractic work or like done a massage? I would say go get a massage. You might be able to let and release some of the energy work, get a massage, energy work, or acupuncture to get that stuff taken care of. Because when you do Ho'oponopono, you probably have a lot of stuff that needs to be moved. Physical manipulation of the body can help out a lot. So go try that out, Steve. Either way, love you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm gonna go put this little one to bed after drinking some tea and eating some oranges. Let's go eat oranges, Mama.
Oh, orange.
Yeah, we're eating orange. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow, everybody.
See you tomorrow, everybody. Oh yeah, you could definitely do that, Daniel. Enjoy, man.